Intuitive thoughts for May 2nd, 2026. I had some margaritas last night, so we're not going to be talking about my dreams, although I had some bangers. I have a feeling that they are being influenced by the fact that I had two margaritas and an espresso martini. Mama went wild. Oh, and I ate popcorn. And I don't eat popcorn because I keep my carbs low, but I broke that. I got some popcorn. I tried watching Wuthering Heights last night, and I just wasn't. Ugh. The book is so much better, and it just kind of sucked. I do want to talk about something though. I've been playing around with, and please, I know there's a lot of you that really don't like AI. I appreciate that. I genuinely appreciate that. But I also appreciate the fact that there's also a lot of people in my generation that didn't like computers, and the next generation that refused to have a cell phone. And there's always going to be, and I get it. I get it. I get it. But this is the direction that the world is heading in, and I don't want to be somebody who's uninformed as to how to use what it is that is current and relevant in our existence. I'm hopefully still going to be here for another 40 years. I mean, how cool would that be? But that means that that's almost half my life. And if this is direction that things are headed, I don't want to be left in the dust. So I don't want to be the grandma that can't get photos from my grandkids because they were sent in some kind of technological platform that I can't figure out or understand. I want to stay current and I want to stay relevant. So I'm keeping my eye on things. That being said, I haven't used anything other than, what is it? Gemini is one of them. And the other one is chat. I'm not good at asking the questions. I'm practicing phrasing questions properly so that I'm using very little in response. But what I'm working on right now is trying to understand how it works with my astrological chart. That is the approach that I'm trying to take because it can't really answer any questions about intuition and things like that. There just isn't enough study behind it to truly maximize that. And I tried using it to try and understand my autoimmune disease, and I got nowhere with that. Like nowhere. And so, I mean, aside from it saying, well, you can take this vitamin for, your inflammation, I was already taking all these different things. So, but the astrological chart is something that I'm playing with. And I typed in my natal chart and I typed in the Edsters natal chart. And we've been married for 31 years. And I'm not going to lie and pretend that it's been this wonderful, miraculous 31 years of joyous bliss. No, it hasn't. We've been through some very, very difficult years. And what I was curious, and this came on the heels of me talking about past lives, because I was asking, Chad about how my natal chart matches up with previous times that it was close in past years. And what were the themes, and what are the themes as they're going? And does this have something, could this have something to do with, what I'm going through now? Is this the progression of my soul to some degree? And I was trying to see, what I could find out. And what was interesting is I didn't ask it, oh, are we soulmates? Because I don't believe in that. Like, I don't believe in soulmates. I've said this a million times. I don't believe in soulmates. But I asked, what years in my past, in our past together, does it look like we have had struggles? What years does it look like we are going to have struggles going forward? Let's break down what time frames were concerning. And I even asked, I said, are there any years that show a likelihood in which we might not stay together? And the funny thing is AI got it 100% right. It nailed the year that my husband first got laid off, where everything went to hell. It was very hard on us. And I had to really change who I was as a mom, as a wife, as a provider. I mean, I'd never clipped coupons the way that I was clipping coupons at that point. It was hard. I mean, we went from a really nice income to nothing because I was a stay-at-home mom. It nailed that. It got it right on the money. It got the next band. It said 2008. It said 2013, which was again another very, very difficult year for us. Again, back into the layoffs, back into me trying to figure out what I'm doing. It was at that point I had started going back to work, but he was making less and less. And I wasn't making very much. And now he started to travel for work. And it became another big transition period because he started to get jealous of me traveling for work. And he was in a job he hated, and he was changing, and I was changing. Things got really ugly. And then I say that the worst year of my life is 2018. And I think the worst year of my life is 2018 because that was probably one of the lowest points in my marriage. My mom had been diagnosed with cancer the same time my mother-in-law had been diagnosed with cancer. My mom didn't make it. My mother-in-law did. And I'd always had a really lovely relationship with my mother-in-law, but it was a very difficult thing for me to lose my mom. And then she would say, excuse me, my allergies are really bad today. And my mother-in-law, who's harmless, saw it as, oh, I'm so glad I didn't die like your mom did. But that was a very painful thing for me. I didn't handle that well. And so at the very beginning of 2019, I had decided that I was going to completely shake up everything in my life. I call it the year of rebuilding. It was, to me, 2018 was when everything felt like it had been destroyed. 2019 was when I had to decide what did I keep and what did I get rid of? What relationships do I keep? Which ones do I get rid of? And I made the conscious decision to stick with my marriage. Some of that was because my mom had told me not to let 6 months of my life overrule all of the 22 years that had come before that. So I respected that. I did respect that. But 2019 was the year that I decided that I was going to evaluate and assess and look at all the damage. And from that year till 2020, probably 2023, 2022, that was the year I assessed the damage, and then I rebuilt me. And the year I rebuilt me was 2020. And I was basically like, screw you. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm going to do things my way. Either you're with me or you're not. I'm not going to try and chase you anymore. I'm not going to try and fix things anymore. I'm fixing me. It got it right. It nailed those years too, all the way to the T, to when I finally felt like I was in a better place, when I was in a better space, and I felt better about myself, and I was on top of things. It literally calculated and landed on absolutely everything. Now, there's a lot of people who don't really believe in the stars, and they don't really believe that astrology really matters much. But what's interesting to me is that AI is populating all sorts of areas and places. It's not just one person's opinion. It's not just one study. It's populating a whole lot of stuff coming together with with exact accuracy as to what my placements are and what all these people believe, these different planets interacting with these different things. There's no way I would ever be able to manage that. I just would not be able to manage that. But I got it right. And if it can get it right going backwards, and it really makes you wonder how much is going to be right going forwards. My chart says I'm going into a really great time. Meg said that too. I'm a Gemini rising. I got some shit going on. But I also had chat tell me that my relationship is going to be getting better and shifting and growing, and that we are past the most difficult parts in our life. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm kind of looking forward to the change in the relationship, to the positivity. But yeah, there you go.